If you're looking for safe and reliable grinding services, hit up Cliff2_3 on Twitter. What is good, YouTube family? RCA the Great here with a new series for you guys. This series is going to be called The Mind of RCA, and this is a new series for me. I just thought about it a couple weeks ago, and I kind of just wanted a way to play the game but still give you guys some YouTube content while I'm just playing Unlimited, building my team, and just sharing the reasons why I do certain things. So it's just going to be, journeys in TTO, journeys in Unlimited, building a squad, different things like that I think I can narrate over and talk about why I make certain moves, why I pick up certain players, why I play a certain style, how I defend certain cheese when I come up against a competitive player in Unlimited, share those types of games. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this series. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. But first episode, let's just talk about the team I have built. I wish I would have done this earlier in the year when we first started, but I didn't grasp what I really wanted to branch out to in YouTube aside from just my playbooks and tips. So this is going to be something new for me. So we got Ricky Rubio, Jaylen Brown, Carmelo Anthony, Karolinko, Moses Malone, Gary Payton, Klay Thompson, Shawn Marion, Paul Silas, Sabonis, Josh Smith, Matisse Thybulle, and Wilt Chamberlain. Now, this is a lot of different cards, a lot of different styles. And what you notice on the screen is there are a lot of meta style players, like players that most competitive players are going to have on their team. But then there's a lot of players that are like, I thought that player wasn't good, or I thought so-and-so said this player didn't have this. I like using all different types of players. I like using players that have good value on the court, but also good value for your MT. I like using players that most people think are not good and then making them actually be good on the court because I play a different style. I don't need to have every single player have 99s. I don't need every player to have shifty dribble style. I don't need everything that the most competitive players are going to need on the court to be successful because I play a different way. So, starting off with my Rubio, I talked about this in my Rubio gameplay. Most players don't like him because he has the slasher dribble style, but he does have that Hall of Fame quick first step attached to him, so it makes him way better. If you go ahead watch that Rubio gameplay, you will notice that he does a very good job on the court. And the reason why I have him out there as well, because his defense is not that bad. We did add Interceptor and Intimidator to him with Deadeye, Sniper, and Hustler, so he does a good job, especially with that menace out there. He does not get abused on the perimeter. Inside, he is a little bit of a liability, but I do not mind that. I have Ricky Rubio playing with a defensive center and a defensive power forward out there. I want to make sure we have defense for him. We also got Jaylen Brown starting, and the reason why I got Jaylen Brown starting instead of Klay Thompson is because Klay Thompson can handle the ball off of my bench because we know this Klay Thompson is glitched and he has way better ball handling. I'm not really going to want to control the ball with Jaylen Brown that much, so Ricky Rubio is going to be my ball handler for my starters along with Carmelo Anthony. So I can run plays with Ricky Rubio, I can run plays with Carmelo Anthony, and Jaylen Brown can come off of screens for me as well. I did make a mistake and put Hall of Fame quick first step on my Jaylen Brown. I don't know why I made that mistake, but it happened. So he is also a very good threat on offense for me. Moses Malone is an inside center. He can hit some open threes, but I got him with some extra Hall of Fame badges as well. So he is a dog inside. Hall of Fame Pogo, Hall of Fame Lob City finisher, Hall of Fame rebound chaser, posterizer. He does what we need him to do inside. He does not get abused and he gets pretty much every rebound. So my team is pretty much well balanced on the offensive and defensive end. I like to balance my bench and starters. A lot of people also ask me, why is Gary Payton on the bench or why are certain players starting over others? I don't put my best team all together. I like to blend my team up because I like to be able to have a good balance out there on the court of offense and defense. So Gary Payton and Klay Thompson playing together, once again, I'm not going to be doing very much ball handling with Gary Payton if I'm trying to create off the pick and roll. If I want to create off the pick and roll, I'm going to be using Klay Thompson because he has a deep threat, but he also can dribble the ball very well and he has Hall of Fame quick first step. So I'll be utilizing him for that. Gary Payton, I have some post-up badges on him. And this is a little bit of more the mind of RCA. I don't put only shooting things on my players. As you can see, I didn't even increase a lot of his badges because they don't matter the way I use Gary Payton. So if you have a smaller point guard on my Gary Payton, I am going to be posting you up inside. I'm going to make you have to make a switch. I'm going to make you defend me. No matter how much the community does not support or think that post-up style of play is relevant, it is an effective way to beat your opponent if they're going to be running all small, weaker players. Don't allow them to just run shooters the whole game and you have to play like them. That's not how it has to be. So my Gary Payton is going to punish you inside if you put Stephen Curry on him. That's how I'm going to use my Gary Payton. He can also get to the basket and do everything he does normally, but I made him an inside threat. For those guys that like to put the smaller players on him, we're going to make you pay. We're going to post him up and we're going to isolate you on the block. Now my Klay Thompson is incredibly souped. He has every badge I need. I got him for like 450K, 500K MT. I really splurged on this. So Hall of Fame interceptor, Hall of Fame Deadeye, and he also had Hall of Fame mismatch expert. Now, if you haven't seen what this mismatch expert badge can do, it is literally ridiculous. Pretty much anybody 4 feet or over taller than your player, you're gonna get a very, very less penalized shot when they contest. So if I get a switch on a pick and roll and you have Sabonis or Porzingis on my Klay Thompson, Klay Thompson 6'7", your Porzingis is 7'3". That's a huge height disadvantage for mismatch expert, and I'm gonna be able to green threes that I should not be able to green. Along with Hall of Fame Deadeye attached to him in that Hall of Fame quick first step, I'm going to be getting open and hitting threes so much with this Klay Thompson. You cannot switch, and that's going to create situations that are very difficult for you on the defensive end. Moving down to Shawn Marion. We need somebody on the court that can rebound. I love this Shawn Marion, although he doesn't have the greatest shot. Another body out there with Hall of Fame interceptor. You cannot throw the ball near him. So him and Klay Thompson so far, Hall of Fame interceptor. We also have Hall of Fame intimidator. So we're going to be able to contest shots and make you miss some things that you might have made, open dunks and things like that. That Hall of Fame intimidator is incredibly important in this game. He also has Hall of Fame posterizer, which is going to allow him to dunk on other players, obviously. Hall of Fame rebound chaser and Hall of Fame pogo. So he is one of the best defenders in the game. I still have yet to badge him up, but I don't really need to put that many badges on him the way I'm going to be using them. He's going to be hitting open shots and he's going to be my defensive anchor for my bench, along with Klay Thompson, who does play great defense. Now, the shoe that I added to my Shawn Marion, I have shoes on all of my players, so we can go through that. But he has a +4 3-point shot, +4 drive and dunk, +4 steal, and a +4 speed with ball with vertical. So we made sure he was faster and everything athletic-wise he's going to be able to do to the highest peak because his stats are pretty juiced anyway. So I do like how my Shawn Marion plays. Now, moving over to Paul Silas. It's another player on the court with Hall of Fame Intimidator and Hall of Fame Interceptor. So now we have 2 players with Hall of Fame Intimidator and we have 3 players with Hall of Fame Interceptor on my bench. Then Gary Payton leading the charge with Hall of Fame Clamps. And I made sure I had an offensive center with this team because I have a guy with a tough shot in Shawn Marion. I have a guy that's not really a shooter in Paul Silas. And unless I'm shooting with Klay Thompson, I don't have many sharpshooters out there as I do with my starters. That's why I have a defensive center with my starters, because my starters can already shoot the ball well. So I need a pop as my bench center. That's why I'm going to be running the pick and roll with Klay Thompson, and then we're going to be able to pop with Sabonis, or we can roll with him. If you switch on this matchup at any single time, this dude is 7'3". He has the post game on lock. You don't want to switch on him at all. So you're going to force yourself to have to go over the screen and get there, and that's going to leave me open with Klay Thompson every single time down the court. If you switch it, now I got a mismatch inside, and I have mismatch expert with Klay Thompson. Got an 88 standing dunk on my Sabonis, 97 block, 87 interior defense. My coach also gives him a +4 on his interior defense, so 91 perimeter defense. You're not going to match him inside. He's too big, he's too strong. Only thing he does not have is that speed, which is why I have some reinforcements on my bench if I need it. My coach also gives him a +4 for his defensive and offensive rebound. I increased his vertical and I increased his lateral quickness because he's not the most athletic person out there. So let's say Porzingis, or Sabonis is getting abused on the pick and roll and we are down in the game. I can easily bring in Josh Smith, put him right here, or I can bring in Wilt Chamberlain. And now we're not going to be able to get abused on the pick and roll anymore, because that's why I put my team like this. I do not leave the last 3 players blank because I want reinforcements on my bench. I want to be able to switch my play style and take up for those disadvantages that may be occurring on the court, because I'm allowing myself to use certain players that may have certain strengths that I want to use, but their weaknesses can be abused if the game is going a certain way. So always have other players on your bench that you can do that with. Now, we also have Matisse Thybulle out here, just in case I need a little bit more defense. Instead of this Jaylen Brown, I'm going to put Matisse Thybulle there, and then I will have somebody that can really hound you on defense. Now, Jaylen Brown does have good defense, but Thybulle has a very high on-ball steal rating. He has a very high pass interception rating, and he has a very high block rating. So Jaylen Brown would go to the bench, and I will put Thybulle right there if I really needed to lock up a little bit more on the defensive end. The next thing I'm going to do is most likely get me a backup point guard that's defensive, so I can get Ricky Rubio a relief if I need to, but I'm not really worried about that right now because we're not in a new season. So that's pretty much how I run my team in game. If we look at my coach, I do have Doc Rivers. I could go for a diamond coach, but I've always liked grit and grind. I like that it gives defensive and offensive boost. I kind of want to switch to somebody that gives speed, but I'm still waiting on that till I get some more MT. I don't really like wasting my MT on coaches when I have a good one already. But I get very good boost. My point guard is going to give me a +4 steal. I'm getting +4 3-point lateral quickness, so Ricky Rubio is going to be way better on defense. Jaylen Brown's getting lateral quickness, 3-point perimeter defense, driving layup, which he doesn't need too much. Carmelo Anthony's getting perimeter defense, lateral quickness, and 3-point shot, which is great. And then when you move to your bigs, you're getting perimeter defense, defensive rebound, and interior defense, which I really like. And now my center is getting interior defense, defensive rebound, offensive rebound, post control, and perimeter defense. So pretty well-rounded coach in my opinion. I like it. You don't have to run it. That's why this is called the Mind of RCA. Just telling you guys what I do. Now this team, I also run the Trailblazers playbook. I switch up my playbook a lot. I'm going to be bouncing between the Nuggets and the Trailblazers because of Sabonis is now on my team. I want to go through the center a little bit more, so I'm going to be running some plays for him. So that's the layout of my team and why I built it this way. I'm always changing how my team is going to be. I'm always changing what I'm going to do with my squad, and I'm always looking to save MT. So let's talk about that a little bit. So we have some cards that cost a ton, like the Klay Thompson and this Sabonis that I just got. And the reason why I'm keeping them right now is because their value is going to hold for a while. Klay is glitched and Sabonis is limited. I paid about $280 for this Sabonis, and I paid like $500 for Klay. I will still be able to sell those for about 80% of their value. The rest of my cards are fairly cheap, to be honest, under 100K to get pretty much all of them. So besides Deshaun Marion, he was like 120, but everybody else was cheap. So I don't have to worry about losing value. So I find cards that are high value and highly competitive. We got the Karolinko, who I got for under 100K. We got Moses Malone with 3 extra Hall of Fames that I got for 80K. Jaylen Brown, who was under 100K. Ricky Rubio under 100K. Marion was like 120. Thybulle was 1K. Josh Smith is like 20K. And now I have built a team by only spending a lot of MT on just 2 players. Everybody else is fairly cheap, and we're super competitive as we head into qualifiers. So I can move players around. I can sell players to get more MT if I need to, but this team is ready to go as we start right now. So with all that said, let's just get into a couple games of gameplay and just talk about how I would do things with this squad. And let me know if you like these kind of things. I'm going to continue this Mind of RCA. We're going to be playing different TTO. We're going to be playing against competitive players. We're going to be talking about a lot of things team building wise. Let me know if you guys like this, and we'll continue to do them. But let's jump into some gameplay and let me know what you guys think. All right, man, we ready to hop into some unlimited games just to test out the squad, how we use them, why we do certain things. And as you can see, we have an 80% 1% showdown tier is already done. Now, I have also given away over like 10 wins this season, and I've been disconnected like 8 to 10 times. So I probably lost 10 times the whole season, and I probably won like 140 games. So I'm most likely have like a 90% win percentage, even though I use different style players than most people use. So you can still do this and be successful. You do not have to follow the mode. Now let me actually go back and change my settings, because this always changes on me. I'm always taking this stuff off. I actually hate it, and we have to do it every single time we log in. But let's get into a game. All right, we hopped into a game, and the first thing I'm always looking at is if my opponent's gonna be pressing start first. Is he gonna sweat me? Is it gonna be, you know, a more chill game? I'm not really worried about it because I'm done with unlimited, but that's what I really gauge first. I just want to see what my opponent's gonna do. And looking at the lineup, we got Stephen Curry, James Harden, Jaylen Brown, Dikembe Mutombo, England Robinson. Not bad team. Some of his players are outdated, but I'm not very worried at all. I already know, based on him not going into the settings and based on him not having that many updated players, that this game can be a pretty good run away from me. His first possession, he gets inside and throws the ball away, but he makes a great steal and he calls a timeout. So now not only do we know our opponent understands how to play the passing lanes, but he knew that he was going to go back court because that happens a lot. So he plays the game often. So we understand that this is going to be somebody that knows at least what they are doing, which you should always be able to gauge within the first couple possessions of 2K. All right, so I like to start off in a half court press. Sometimes I don't always go full court press. And honestly, I'm going to keep my Rubio on his Stephen Curry because I am not too worried about it. I don't want to put my Rubio on his James Harden because James Harden can actually post me up inside easily. So I don't want to have to deal with that all game. But we're fine with having my Stephen Curry on his Rubio. We just get a quick X switch. And you see my man Rubio with a beautiful steal. We're going to hit Jaylen Brown in the corner. If they would have let me pass the ball, that would have been great. But now we got Rubio going to the basket. We get Stephen Curry on Karolinko. And we get an easy shot that we should have easily greened, but it is what it is. Look at Rubio in the passing lanes, man. He is just really good out there. Now we got my man Jaylen Brown in the corner. Knocks down the three. Once again, should have greened it, but we got to get our feet under us right now. Jaylen Brown, good defense under that screen. We're just going to play some decent defense. Make sure they work hard on the offensive end. You're going to get mashed inside. Just know that you're going to get mashed inside. That's why we have defenders out there. But that's all you can really do. Put people out there that's going to be able to stop the mash and just see if your team's going to be able to look. Rubio is just all over the place. He is not as bad as people made him think. And he throws Hall of Fame bullet passes, and he just makes the game easier in the fast break, man. He's already has 2 steals. Obviously, in the passing lanes, he stripped 1 player, but we're not really worried about him on defense because he can make things happen. Look at him in the passing lanes. He just makes it happen. Now we're going to hit Karolinko because they thought it was going to go to Jaylen Brown again, and we're already up 8-0 with the squad. Probably going to throw the bench in because this guy might quit pretty soon. We'll see. But we're rocking right now. Look at JB with the defense. Moses Malone out here with him, but we know he's not going to shoot that. Good job, get over that screen. The defense is here, man. JB is headed out. And we got my man Rubio throwing up. Ooh, good defense from Mutombo right there. That was a good defensive play. We should have completed that alley-oop, but it's all good. He is scrambling to get the bucket. He left his shot meter on too. That's another way you can gauge if your opponent's going to be pretty decent or not. If he turns the shot meter off. Sometimes they just leave it on, and I don't know how I feel about that, but I don't like the shot meter at all. We got, okay. Oh, Rubio turns the ball over. It's cool. Can we get Jaylen Brown with a block? Good defense, boys. I like that. Chase down blocks are crazy in this game. All right, let me get a screen. Let's make Rubio work real quick. Come here. Chill. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, Rubio. Okay, we are up 11-0 so far. He's going to call a timeout. We're going to just put the bench in to see how the bench plays. We already see that the starters don't have any issue on defense. And we play a pretty good offensive game as well. As long as we get out in the fast break, Rubio controls it very well for us. But again, we're not playing against the best opponent we could. We're going to continue to do this kind of video. We're playing against different styles of opponent. Might challenge some players in my comp chat just so that we have more footage for this kind of video. But let's get the bench in, man. We got Gary Payton, Klay Thompson, Shawn Marion, Paul Silas, and Sabonis. Let's see how the bench plays against this squad. All right, Gary on Curry. I'm completely fine. Just going to go under those screens. He's calling his screens from so far out, and he gets a dunk and one. So my defensive squad comes in the game, and he scores, where my other squad was in the game, and he couldn't score a bucket. I don't understand that, but it is what it is. Let's see if we can run our offense through Sabonis. We're going to go 4 out, 1 in. All right, so this is what I was talking about with the pick and roll. Sabonis has Hall of Fame brick wall, so his screens are going to be completely solid. And now I have an easy mismatch inside. They have to switch. Even if I shoot the ball, it's going to be a free rebound. If I don't shoot it, he had a switch on him, so I would have been fine. Now, Sabonis is slow. As you can see, he just threw that pass up there, so I'm going to be cognizant of that. I am up by 8 points, so I'm not worried about those twos coming inside like that, but I'm just going to come down and call screens and make him have to play Sabonis. Now, see, he switches again. He jumps there. He makes a mistake, but now we get a mismatch inside easily. That's going to be a bucket, and we make him switch, and now we got Klay Thompson open for 3. I can literally just do that every single play. Force a switch or force him to go over the screen. It's going to be Klay Thompson and my man Sabonis inside every single time. I don't even have to get the ball to anybody else. Now, if I wanted to call plays, I can obviously do that, but with Klay and Sabonis in the game, my pick and roll game can be very strong. It's just a 2-man game all day, and if I needed to go to Marion or something like that, I really could, but what's the point when we have Sabonis out there doing what he does? If they don't step up on that 3, Klay's going to be able to hit that. And this is why we have Paul Silas out here, because we have an extra defender that can help stop players that are trying to mash. Paul Silas is not going to get easily abused inside or outside. He's going to help over there, and now Sabonis is wide open for three. We should have greened that, but it is what it is, man. We're going to still hit those. It is unlimited. The game is on rookie. So all you got to do is get the shot up, and you pretty much have a chance at making it. Same thing with qualifiers. He shoots it with his Mutombo. Obviously, he's going to miss that because Mutombo has a very slow shot. All right, first quarter is 19-7. Now, the way I play the game, I don't really go for blowouts that much, especially in more competitive games. When I have the lead, my goal is to focus on keeping the lead. I'm going to try to outscore you. I'm trying to score every possession. I don't need to get a three-pointer every possession. If I have to get a two, I'll take a two. But my goal is to keep the lead, which is why sometimes in qualifiers, in previous years, I didn't qualify that much because my play style doesn't cater towards just 50. Let's call one of my favorite plays for Klay Thompson. See if we can get something going. Quick two stagger. Have him come across these double screens. I don't know why you're reaching out there with Gary Payton. Look at my man, Klay Thompson, Hall of Fame mismatch expert. It doesn't matter if Mutombo jumps at that. I'm still going to be able to get the shot off and green it. This is why we have that Klay Thompson on our squad. That's a beautiful play by that guy. Good shot. Or Hall of Fame brick wall. Oh yeah, he's too deep inside. Even against Mutombo, that is going to be a bucket. Now the way this man sets screens, like there's just no way to stop him without. Look at Shawn Marion, man. Just because you don't like his release, all you got to do is make sure he's shooting wide open shots. And that was the most wide open you can get, man. We're going to get so many shots like that. Now his defensive presence out there is going to be just as good as we need it to be. Even if he doesn't make those contested threes sometimes. Hit wide open and play defense. Focus on getting open shots. Don't focus on hitting contested shots. That's what people have backwards. They focus on how often their players can hit contested rather than how much can I get myself an open shot. And that's why Shawn Marion is completely fine with me, because we take a lot of open shots out here. All right, we got another switch. Sabonis with Stephen Curry on him. He's got to foul me. That's what I'm going to do every single time. We got Hall of Fame brick wall. We're going to set screens. We're going to make you defend us. And we're going to do it with somebody that can shoot so well off the screen that you literally have to fight hard over the screen in order to stop it. We're not going to do it with somebody that can't shoot, because see, as soon as you don't step over that screen, we are going to stop and pop that. And that's why Klay Thompson is playing with Sabonis. All right, and our opponent has left the match. That is game one. We win 30-15 in the first episode of The Mind of RCA. We're going to be trying different playbooks. We're going to be doing different things out here. But that was the squad. Ricky Rubio, Jaylen Brown, Carmelo Anthony, Karolinko, Moses Malone, and you saw the bench out there. We didn't get a chance to get Thibault in the game, but we will. And we're going to be starting another Budget Baller series or Budget Beast series where we bring Thibault out with some other rubies, and we're going to be running through Unlimited. But this is my main squad, and this is going to be the Mind of RCA. We're going to be going through lots of different plays, lots of different competitive games, and just my mindset when I approach the game in certain ways. So hopefully you guys appreciate this kind of video, just something for me to do and to record while I'm playing the game instead of just playing. So if you enjoy it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll have more for you guys in the near future. I will catch you in the next video. Peace.